everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Darylyn, and I bet you were not expecting to hear from me today. Well, that's right. Yeah, I normally don't bother ever posting on a Saturday, but I wanted to do something a little special and say thank you to you guys, because recently, like in the last week or so, we hit 5,000 subscribers, and it's kind of cool because it's the first channel milestone that I've hit in a really long time. So I wanted to do something to say thank you, and I thought about doing a giveaway, but that really only benefits like one person. So I thought, what if instead I did something that maybe like everyone could appreciate? So I'm gonna try and put out some extra content this week and maybe next week. So this is your first dose of getting spoiled. I love nothing more than like having a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning when no one else is around to bother me and watching a vlog. So here's my attempt at a Saturday morning coffee time vlog. Let's just chill out. I have like a couple little growth updates to show you, and maybe we'll just like talk about some questions that I get asked. And I also recently made some changes to this area in my house. The bins of death are gone, and we have this really cute Fabrikor cabinet now. I got an insane deal on this, you guys. Like when I say like don't sleep on your local plant groups, like 100% I'm serious, because I got this for like 75 bucks. And if you try to buy them from IKEA, they go for over $200, and then you have to like do stuff to them to actually make them, you know, suitable to keep plants in. So super awesome score. Dude, I literally saw somebody post a Burl Marks flame cutting in my local group the other day for $150, and I was like, I almost went for it, but I'm in my like financially responsible era now, unfortunately. And so I didn't do that because, you know, like I don't need any more plants. But yeah, like the deals are out there if you look around. So anyway, I guess let's get going on this little fun vlog, and I'll just like kind of show you like what's changed over here. I kind of like posted some of the stuff on Instagram already, but I'm excited to show you guys. So let's see if I can move you. Okay, yeah, you guys can, that'll be okay. So yeah, this is my little nook. Actually, there's a couple other cute little things behind me. This anthurium right here. I think she's looking really cute on her little rattan end table in her little basket. And I don't know like what's going on with that leaf, you guys, but probably acclimation damage from being repotted. I mean, like it kind of could be like spider mites or thrips, sus vibes, but I would be shocked if a single plant in this house had anything like that going on, because everybody in here has been Azamaxed to oblivion. So I doubt that that's what that is, but I wanted to show you guys how cute, like look how cute my little basket is. This has like, you know, stuff I've like hidden away in it. This is like a doom box, like a neurodivergent doom box. And yeah, but it's in an aesthetic basket on an aesthetic end table. So like, you know, whatever, it's cute. And then I recently repotted my Florida Beauty and took her out of the mini greenhouse because I don't know if you guys noticed, but a mini greenhouse is gone. She's canceled. Actually, she's not canceled. I put her away. I'm trying to reclaim my house and make it a more inviting, like chill, relaxing place to be. I kind of just wanted my table back. And so that mini greenhouse is great. Like I just don't really have plans to be like importing any more plants, and with the cabinet I don't think I really need it anymore, so I'm gonna put it in storage, but she's not going anywhere. And I still highly recommend getting one of those if you have a spot for it, or if you're bringing in imports, or if you've got plants that you are taking out of a prop box and you want to put them somewhere that's like not just open air but like a little bit less of a spa treatment vacation than a prop box. Mini greenhouse is a great choice. But I took her out and I put her on a pole, and I put her in this really cute little plant stand that used to actually have my albos in it. I have two matching ones, and eventually I'll put something else in the other one when I have a spot to like put it. But I think she looks so good. She's so cute, and she's been out of the greenhouse now for, I don't know, like almost a week. yeah, I think I did this like last weekend and it's Friday today. So I'm super happy. I really don't think that this plant is gonna suffer from any acclimation damage, which is a relief because this plant's so beautiful and I would have been like pretty devastated if it got all fucked up, but I think she's looking so good. I'm so happy. Yay. So like, here, I'll show you like how cute this little area is. I'll just like back you up a little bit. Like, can you see? Yeah, like look how cute. I'm like really pleased with that, how cute that is. But let me show you guys this cabinet. Let me see if I can get this in a more favorable angle. So as you can see, this is a tight squeeze. Yeah, us Californians, man, they don't really make affordable housing with enough space for like, you know, hobbies and things. So everything is very like squished back here, but this is my Fabrikor cabinet. This isn't my first cabinet. I do have another like bargain basement, like Amazon one that I like finagled to be a greenhouse cabinet that actually like works really well and has done completely right by a couple of my really fancy anthurium, and my marantas are in there, but like this one's like my first cute one, and most of the residents of it, they've been in there for about a week now, are doing really well. You can see there's a queen anthurium leaf. Oh my god, this is like silly. This is silly. But yeah, so like this is a completely unaltered Fabrikor cabinet, and I've got like 90% humidity and 70 degrees. So pretty happy with it. I don't have like anything in it right now as far as like fans or anything. So I've just been making sure I open it every morning, or even more than that because I'm nosy and I like to look at my shit. So yeah, you can kind of see like who's in here, and I'm gonna open it all the way. I'm gonna move this pretty leaf so that it doesn't get squashed. Ralphie's crying. I don't know what his issue is. But I've got some good ones in here. So I have my philodendron luxurians. Look at that. Back from the dead or what? Looking a little worse for wear, but alive nonetheless. And this is just in literally water. And I honestly, you guys, have never been able to figure out a way that this plant will not just like kill itself other than just putting it in water. So I don't know, like I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna do with it. I might just leave it in water for now. I don't know. I was thinking like maybe I could set up some kind of aquaponics system for it because I do really like it. I just, you know, I don't know. Haven't had success with it in the past. Ralphie, honey, come here. Ralphie, honey, what are you doing? He gets so concerned. Bubby, what are you doing? Hi, baby. Come on over. Come on. Hi, there he is. Hi, baby. Do you want to sit with me? Okay. He doesn't, but he's like crazy. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to take a break for a minute and give my dog some weed so it'll calm down. Literally, like, we're on the first floor and he'll just get so worked up if anybody has the audacity to walk like by our house at all. What else is in here? I have a little monochrysum that I didn't have anywhere else to put and that I probably like won't do anything with. I should probably just put this up in the plant group and give it away. I have a monochrysum in my grow tent and it annoys me enough already, so I don't need another one. I have this white wizard. This is a white knight. I have this white knight in here, and some of the leaves have some really pretty variegation, but a lot of them are like solid green. Like, I don't know that I care that much about this plant. Would you guys be interested if I put this up in a giveaway or something? Because like, I just don't really have any plans for this. Like, I have my white princess that I like better, and I just don't really have anything like to do with this plant. I don't have a plan for it. So comment below if you would like me to do a giveaway and give this plant away. Because I think that's like the best idea I have for it. But yeah, there's like lots of nodes and some of the leaves are pretty. Like this leaf at the bottom is like really pretty. So let me know if you think that would be a good giveaway. Okay, so I put my philodendron fibrosum in here, and unfortunately it got like burned in the window in the little mini greenhouse, and that is the first time that I've ever had an issue with that mini greenhouse. Like once it got to be spring, like a couple of the plants that were sitting in that window, it's like a southeast facing window that's like partially obscured from direct sunlight, they started getting burned. And so that was actually one of the reasons why I like popped on this cabinet. I mean, like I was gonna get this cabinet anyway because like I have been wanting one forever, and this is like the perfect size to put here because of the shelves that are above it. Tangent. So that was one of the reasons why I decided that I was ready to have this cabinet instead of the mini greenhouse and not in addition to it, because the plants were just getting burned by this window. And so I put my philodendron fibrosum into this cabinet, and I think this is a really cool plant. These are not something that I see people keeping that often, or at least not like posting on social media. They had their moment for like literally a moment like 2 years ago, and people thought that they were really cool, but I don't see them around that much anymore, which is kind of too bad because I think they're really pretty. They're like a sub velvet, and they're just kind of like this like chunky heart shape, kind of varicosum-y, kind of philodendron McDowell-y. I don't like the philodendron McDowell anymore because I've literally never had anything that got spider mites like that. I honestly would like to say justice for philodendron varicosum because yeah, the McDowell is definitely like a worse spider mites magnet than the varicosum could ever be. So I think this is cool, even though it like kind of looks like the McDowell, it doesn't get spider mites like the McDowell. And it's got the crazy fuzzy petioles, which I think is fun. And it kind of comes in a little bit like pink like vibes on like the veins and stuff, which I don't know that's coming through like amazingly well in the camera, but I think this is pretty and I really like this. I was originally gonna probably sell this, and I'm definitely not gonna sell it now. I really like it. So yeah, another thing I've got in here is my Anthurium Warocqueanum Esmeralda. And I actually forgot, you guys, to put this in the Anthurium collection video. This was the only one that I forgot about, and I felt like so bad, but no, she's doing really well. She is coming back. She's coming back from like not a good time. The grow tent got like powdery mildew. Like you guys saw my big Queen Anthurium during the, you know, Anthurium collection tour. She's not doing so well. She's putting out a new leaf now, so she's actually on the mend, but a bunch of stuff in there got powdery mildew. I didn't friggin' know what to do about it, and so that's the result, but she's bouncing back. And this is the new leaf, and it's still like super floppy, so this is gonna get bigger. I think this plant is gonna really like the cabinet. I'm just really pleased with the outcome there, because yeah, for a minute I was like, should I just chop off every single one of those leaves or something? Because yeah, it was not a good vibe. So this plant is my Varicosum Ericolor. I don't think it likes the cabinet. I think the cabinet might be a little too intense for it. It did really well in the greenhouse, the mini greenhouse, until summer started, and then it started to get burned, and then once I put it in the cabinet, the burn just got like worse. And it's in this like moss in this bowl, and you can see it's got a lot of good roots. I don't think it loves being in this bowl. Like I've had really good success growing Anthurium in moss in the past. I think this is just like too intense because this glass bowl is not breathable. And I can see a bunch of like mycelium growing in there, which is normally fine, but I think that that just is an indication that maybe that this has not enough airflow. And like, look at all this algae. So I think I really need to repot this plant and give it a better situation. This is what I mean when I say like repotting how, is that like I have so many plants now that are all kind of about the same age because I got them all at the same time, that all need to be repotted at the same time. And it's just like, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of money. And every year in the spring, it's like the same freaking issue of there's multiple months where I do nothing in my free time except plant chores. And like, that's not the life that I signed up for. This is gonna be a controversial take. Don't cancel me. I actually literally hate, with a capital H, everything about doing plant chores. I do not really like taking care of plants. I am the kind of person where if I have to do something more than once, I start to get driven insane by it. Like I start to become irate by it. And so as a result, a lot of my plants get really neglected until there's no leaving it anymore before I face consequences. My favorite part of keeping plants is seeing the growth, seeing the new leaves, seeing the transformation, seeing the fruits of my labors. I am not the kind of person who's like, I want to relax and repot some plants. And like, I wish I was. Like, I know there's people out there who freaking love repotting plants and are like, oh, I love the smell of the soil and I love like, you know, just the process and like it's a project, and I hate it. Like, I wish some of those people, like, I wish you were my literal plant friends down the street so you could come to my house and repot my plants while I feed you snacks, because I freaking hate it. I hate it. But I like the other parts of having plants enough. I like the way they look. I like looking at them. I like micromanaging what they're doing, and I like the new growth and stuff enough that I'm definitely gonna keep I'm not gonna like get rid of my plant. I like my plants, but I hate it. So they're all getting left to the last second, and they all need attention at once, and I just don't like it. But yeah, and then so there's another shelf in here. There's more stuff. This second shelf is pretty much all my anthuriums that were in my prop box that I showed you guys. I don't think I actually showed you the box, but I showed you what was in the box during the anthurium collection tour. I put my Fort Sherman X Ralph Lynam narrow form from Jay into my other cabinet with my Dresslery, and it's doing really well in there. It's like exploding with root growth, and there's a new leaf coming out. I think I'm going to be cutting that soon and hopefully offering it up for a trade, and hopefully I can get like a BVEP or an AOS Tazula dark form, because I really want one of those. Hopefully, like, this might be getting a little bit greedy, but maybe I could actually like finagle 2 cuttings off of it and get 2 plants. I don't know, but I'm excited. I should show that to you guys. I'll probably forget to do that, but I should show you. This is the most ridiculous situation. Okay, so we've got a bunch of stuff up here, and we've got a couple little things. So this is the Hawaiian micans that I literally forgot I had. My friend gave it to me forever ago, and it was in one of my prop doom boxes that just like I hadn't given any attention in forever. But yeah, I've decided to keep it and see if I can get it to grow into something, because my friend gave it to me and it was cool. When she sent me the cutting, it was like kind of big. So I'm gonna keep that in here. And then I have this little Rhaphidophora that this, when it shingles, it looks really cool because it's like very lance leaf shaped and it grows up like a board or something, and it's really cool. So I have one of these. This is my Anthurium Selby Silver, and it is rebounding, so that is good. And it looks like there's a little baby leaf down there that's more than one growth point activated. But I'm hoping that eventually this will rebound to like what it looked like when I got it, which was gorgeous. I actually think that the most liked photo on my Instagram might be of this plant back when it was looking like its best. So if that tells you anything, it's that this plant is awesome. I really like it. This baby Florida Beauty is actually from this mother plant, and I'm gonna send this to my friend. And I had taken a bunch of cuttings from this plant at one point, and this is the last one that's left. And I'm sending it off to its new home with my friend. So it's like kind of the end of an era. I guess that's like a good segue into kind of like talking about another thing that some people have asked me about, which is like, whatever happened to my plant shop? Am I making a plant shop? And the answer to that is no, that is not gonna happen. And the story behind why I'm not gonna do the plant shop is like, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, and I think they all come together. Like, I think honestly, like on their own, each reason is a good reason. In fact, that there's like so many. It was literally like all signs pointing to like, this is not something that's gonna be worth my time in the long run. But this is the Anthurium Agyrostoctum velvety that I showed you guys last week, and it's doing really well. The leaf hardened off and it's like super dark green. So it's pretty. But the plant shop essentially, like, so what happened was that when I first got the idea to do the plant shop, it was early 2021. And I was like, okay, I like see how I could make this work. And I got laid off, fired, during COVID, and I had nothing to do and there was nowhere to go. And I was like, okay, like, let me see if I can make this plant shop idea work. And at the time, prices were still insane, and it was like still a viable business idea. Really quick, oh, brand new leaf coming in here on this one from the cabinet. It's like hard to see it, but this is a FTG Crystallinum X Lux that I brought back from the dead. So we got a little root right there. So hopefully this starts to size up soon. So like when I got the idea to start the plant shop, like it was still, I thought, a good idea, and I could see how I could make it work. So like by the time that I got everything together that I was gonna need to launch it correctly, like the certifications and the permits and the licenses and all that stuff, I had started attending the pop-ups that like Aquagenera was doing, and then eventually Tropical Plants was doing. I talked to Ivan and you know, one of my friends who was the Tropicals rep in Southern California, and I found out, I got their schedule of all these pop-ups, and I could tell that there was going to be a shift in the market on the supply side, because these huge growing conglomerates, these huge Ecuadorian companies were moving to start selling directly to consumers without them having to order internationally and actually import plants. I knew that that was going to completely crash prices. I have a background in finance. I was working in private equity before I left that industry like 2 years ago. So to me, I could just tell that like the plant boom was gonna be accelerated, and we were starting to get into the territory where it was just gonna become a race to the bottom as far as pricing went, and then a lot of people were not gonna see what was happening here, and they were gonna accelerate buying and try and resell things, and it was just not gonna be a favorable environment for a small plant business. And then on top of that, I got a job offer to do something that was pretty much like my ideal career trajectory at that point. I got an offer to be a project coordinator for a marketing department in like a big corporation. And so I was like, I kind of need to focus on that because that's like my bread and butter. That's where I'm making my money. But like, let me keep this plant thing, you know, running on the side. I'll use it to sell whatever plants I want to sell. I'll just do it as like a side hustle. And eventually, you know, like what if this job isn't like pleasant? What if it doesn't work out? Then I could just like bounce back to that when it's a little bit more established. And I think the thing that like finally put the nail in the coffin for me as far as the plant business just not being viable was that like anytime I had to do any kind of like business admin kind of thing, like file paperwork or like make disclosures or like do taxes or anything like that, like it was so stressful for me that I literally would have like panic attacks. I don't really talk about it that much on the channel, but like you might be able to tell if like you know, I'm like pretty neurospicy. And so doing something like that is just not like conducive to what I'm good at. And I just decided that it was absolutely 100% not fucking worth it for me to just like have like a little side hustle if I was gonna get that stressed out about it and have that kind of stuff. And then the other thing was that one of my friends who had a successful plant shop, mind you, this plant shop was her primary source of income, her full-time job, you know, from the outside looking in, very successful, told me some things about like the financial side of it that led me to understand that it was never going to be able to replace my income level from my corporate job. Essentially, I just realized it was never gonna be worth it. It was never gonna be what I thought I could make it. It was gonna be more stressful than I thought it was gonna be. It was gonna be way more time. It was gonna be probably not anywhere near enough money to cover my expenses. And maybe eventually I could have got it there, but it just wasn't gonna do it. It wasn't gonna work. So I decided to close it. I closed out everything. I relinquished all the licenses, all the permits. I unincorporated the business, and it was just like, you know, one of those things where like, I'm just glad I just like stopped it when I realized that it just wasn't gonna be right for me. You know, another thing too that happened was like a few months into that new job, like 6 months in, my boss quit and I had to take over like project management for the entire department by myself while we looked for somebody to replace him. And it was just a ton of work. And at the same time, it was summer and I was in literally plant chore hell. Like I was doing nothing except like project managing marketing for my company that I work for, and then also plant chores and taking care of my dog, who also, like Ralphie, like bless his heart, he's cute. and he's a sweet, sweet boy, but he is the like most difficult dog I've ever had. Like he required a lot of training. I just was like, we're just not doing this. But yeah, anyway, so that's what happened with that. Nothing crazy. I just, you know, decided that it wasn't what I wanted to spend my time doing, and I'm actually super lucky because I am in a really good place in my, you know, corporate career now, and I'm with a company that I really like, and it's a lot of work sometimes, but it's pretty satisfying. So I can't say that I'm like too disappointed with how it worked out. And another thing too is that like, I would say it's a good thing that this like running my own business attempt taught me that like actually it's not for me. Because I feel like I used to fantasize about like coming up with some like harebrained scheme and starting a business and working for myself for forever. And I am honestly like, I do think it's a good thing for me that I know that like actually no, that's not something that I should do. So I'm glad I learned that lesson in a relatively like harmless way that didn't, you know, I didn't like do anything that I like couldn't change, or I didn't have any employees that were relying on me or anything. So anyway, that's that story. It's not super dramatic, but I do really quick want to show you the top of the cabinet, because one of the cool things about the Fabrikor is that the top is glass, which I'm pretty sure the Millsbow top is not glass, but yeah, you can kind of see down in there. And like I have lights like above it. So I didn't actually have to put any lights in, which worked out because eventually I might, depending on like if I move this somewhere, but it was convenient to just be able to like put it in there. But yeah, I really like this little cabinet, and there's a couple of other little plants in there you saw last week, like the Magnificum, not Magnificum, the Metallicum's in there, and the Aniseed Carla Blackii is in there. So that plant, I did not really think it was a pure Carla Blackii, and I did reach out to Enid at Aniseed Tropicals, and she's gonna let me exchange it. So I'm happy about that because I was pretty disappointed. I really wanted a Carla Blackii, and it was like my birthday present to myself. So let me grab it, I'll show you. I think it's gonna put out another leaf. Yeah, it looks like it's getting ready to put out another leaf, but yeah, like that isn't really giving Carla Blackii. So I'm glad that it was pretty like uncontested to just return it. I do need to like stick it in the mail. I just don't want to put it in the mail like right before a holiday weekend. I don't want it sitting in the mail all weekend. So I'm gonna send that back, which is kind of, I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about sending it back because I don't know, like I get attached to plants, but I honestly, I mean, I'm sure, you know, going back to Enid, it'll be fine, but Mama gets to get the plant she ordered. So it's getting cut from the team. So yeah, I wanted to show you also just really quick. You guys, my boyfriend just brought me an adult beverage. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up really quick so I can go enjoy my Memorial Day weekend. But before we wrap it up, I did want to show you this Choco who's positively popping off. Look at her. And I'm just really pleased with the situation here. Look at this leaf. We finally got a crazy pretty leaf, and yeah, she's doing really good. I'm so happy. And yeah, pretty fun little growth update. So that's gonna be it for me for today. Thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for being cool and for always being like so nice to me, and for some reason thinking that my content is worth time in your life that you'll never get back. And I'm looking forward to see like what goes on in the future with this little channel, and I have a lot of fun stuff planned, and hopefully you guys enjoy a little extra content and a little extra attention from me this weekend. Or this week, not this weekend. And another thing too is like, if you wanna like see more stuff from me, I've been posting like more reels and Instagram stories on my Instagram. And I also have been posting a series called Repotting Hell, where it's just like quick little shorts about like plants I'm repotting and like complaining about it. I mean, I think it's kind of fun. But anyway, so if you want to see that, go head over to my Instagram. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. Bye. Bye.